Torp here. I'm going to start this one off with a all this deactivation talk. I just brought this up to the DoorDash Revolution over the summer. He kind of touched base on it. Question was, why in the world are all these big content creators talking about deactivation? Well, how many times have you heard that where's freedom of speech? Where's free speech? Where's the First Amendment? I went through this on YouTube back in I think it was 2005-06. Yeah. I actually got to talk to somebody at eBay. They called me. I had no idea who it was. I thought it was a prank phone call because eBay don't call you. You don't talk to people at eBay. You can PayPal, but not eBay. I was tripping. I asked the guy on the phone. This is what I learned. He says, yeah, we absolutely love and appreciate the First Amendment and support it. I'm thinking, so how in the world did I get a pink slip on eBay? Simple. I was making videos on YouTube, and I thought I was the man because I was one of the popular ones in the clique talking about let's all boycott eBay. This is how easy it is to screw eBay. This is how easy it is. There was a thing called a chargeback. There was all kinds of things you could do back then. But I said, yeah, we appreciate and love the First Amendment, but that's called side interference. They don't have to put up a side interference. It's called harassment. Yeah, that's what happens when you open your mouth on a private platform. You see, YouTube and DoorDash are privately owned, but they're publicly accessible, which means government rules don't apply to the amendments, unless, of course, you're trying to sell a gun, which is just illegal. So these guys are talking about Megan got deactivated and Dashing Trader got deactivated. And from what I understand, there's a few other ones that have too. Well, I see a lot of people sticking up for Megan. She's wonderful. She did nothing wrong. Okay. Then I guess you missed the video where she was driving to the apartment complex and she called the customer a bitch. And the customer called her a bitch. They were harassing each other. Doesn't matter who started it. Megan posted that. It's still on her channel. It's not hard to find. Damn thing went viral. She got a lot of support from the community for that. Lots of it. I thought that it was a great video because it was kind of like a coworker sharing a really bad day at work. I'm like, I can relate to that. Some people are just really honestly unhappy. Or they give you such bad instructions, you don't know what to do. It's like, I could be looking at a contract violations because their instructions are so poor. I had one just the other day where the address, he said I changed it. So I had to show him the address on the app, and he says, I changed it. I said, that's a thing now. I've noticed that since the pandemic, some of the special instructions were updated, but they didn't get rid of the old ones. Like hand it to me and leave it during the same thing. Those. So, luckily he had a really honest neighbor because I was at the correct address, and he says, I didn't order anything. Luckily, I was like, and I thank the man for his honesty. I got on the phone with the customer and says, I'm here in the apartment complex, but for some reason, I'm a little confused. I said, are you not at this address? He goes, no, I'm at a different address. I'm like, it says in the app this address. He goes, yeah, I know, I tried to change that, but I was like, I didn't argue with him. I was like, okay, cool, I'll be right there, because I was literally at the apartment complex. I was like, I know exactly where to go at this point. So I went. I did show him the phone, thanked him very much for contact, talking to me on the phone so I get it all worked out. I was very nice to him. And then I showed him the phone. I didn't put it in his face or anything. I showed him the phone. I was like, here's the address that's on the app, man. That's not good. I know that you tried to fix it, but you might want to contact DoorDash support about that. Because if that had been a leave it door, I would have left it at the wrong door and got a contract violation. Likely. So there's that. Megan did screw up, by the way. I don't know why this is like this big elephant in the room that nobody's talking about. She screwed up. She got a little too big-headed and took all that fame, and look what happened. I think in the back of her mind, she probably knew, like, wow, what if DoorDash sees this? I'm actually harassing a customer, and a customer's harassing me. Again, I don't think it matters which way it goes. If a customer harasses you, you call Dasher support. Are they going to help? I don't know. But no matter what, it's just like when it's not self-defense, people. That's not what this is. We're talking about harassment, verbal harassment. You don't have to say anything back. If they're really that rude, just rude. How many of you have had rude customers? You got to ignore that shit. They're going to leave you a bad rating, and DoorDash will likely not get rid of the bad rating. Sometimes they exclude it, but likely it'll stick, depending on what it is. Part of the game. You're dealing with people, and a lot of them. Is everything supposed to go pleasant? Not that I'm aware of. And then you got Dashing Trader. He clearly harassed people. Clearly. I mean, there's no contest there. Dashing Trader set out to harass people. That was his intention to begin with. He was very clear about that. You can't even misinterpret the idea of the videos. He's like, I'm going to expose all these customers for not all the stuff that he said. And then he went out and did it. Now that's clearly harassment. It's like a lot of people said, and I agree with it. If you're really mad about non-tips, don't take them. DoorDash is not going to fix this problem, and I'll tell you why I think that is. It's very simple. If the shareholders find out that Mr. Mantoni, the boss and the holy grail of DoorDash, if he says we have to make the customers tip, I think it could go as far as him getting sued by his shareholders, because his prime responsibility, not only to himself but to his shareholders, is to try to make a profit. So if he tells his customers they have to tip something, they could easily walk away. He could actually likely get sued for that by his shareholders or any type of entity that's within the stock exchange, as far as I know. Because I know by law they have to try to make a profit if they have shareholders. So there's that. And I think that Dashing Trader knows this. I don't think that Dashing Trader realized what he did when he admitted that he was making all these different accounts, and he had the large order program on the phone that was still activated. The other one got deactivated. I mean, how many fucking lines did that man cross? And everybody's shocked. Oh my God, they can't deactivate those assholes. I'm like, no, they're not assholes. It's like when you go to get a job and they say, well, you have to wear a blue shirt and you have to know how to work a computer. And then you go in there with a black shirt on and you don't know the first thing about Microsoft or Apple. So basically you just lied. You might get fired for that, right? So what would be the difference if you say, yeah, I'm proud to be a contractor, independent contractor. I'm proud of it. This is great. But you forgot one thing. When you say you're an independent contractor, there's one thing in there that you got to keep in mind. An independent contractor is just that. He's an independent contractor. The company doesn't owe you anything. It's in the contract. They don't have to have a reason. Everybody can be, well, they don't even have to have a reason. That's bullshit. It's like, since when did we start talking about DoorDash like it was a job? It's work to do it. You got to work. You got to use your head more than anything else, but it's work. You got to be a little bit more financially responsible and understand these things and have some customer service skills of some sort. It's work. It's no different than any other job. The difference being, independently, we don't have to do the job. and we still get to keep the platform. We can not work for 6 months. We're not fired. We see a job we don't like, we don't take it. We don't get fired. You go to a regular W-2 and say, I ain't doing that. I don't want to do that today. They're going to say, well, then we'll find somebody else. Your last paycheck will be here on Thursday if you want to pick it up. No hard feelings. That has been lost in space with all this shit that's going on in the gig community right now. I think that this might be the tipping point right here when people are talking about Dashers getting deactivated for harassing customers. Well, duh. They're going to get deactivated. What, is DoorDash not in cahoots with YouTube? For Christ's sake, people, think about it. You have to create an account on YouTube, and even if you don't use your real name and you actually use your face, have you ever heard of face recognition? They got this shit so far out that they're probably taking tips from fucking Facebook. They got face recognition at airports. They know how to pick up on thieves in fucking different casinos with face recognition. They don't need your real name. They can get it off of another platform. Face recognition. Oh my God, nobody brought that up. Because I heard one of the comments on Hannibal's Hungry Radio, like, you have to use your real name. If they don't have that, then they ain't got nothing. It's like, yeah, they got the face. Megan used her full name and her face. Dashing Trader used his face. That's all it needs. And if Dashing Trader's been in any lives or has a Facebook, how hard is it to find his name? How hard? I'll tell you how hard it is. They both got deactivated. That's how hard it is. Now, am I knocking either one of them? Nah, not really. I'm not knocking them per se. There's a lot of people in the world that do stupid shit. I'm not going to judge them. That's for somebody else to judge. And they got judged. The judge and the jury of DoorDash came to. They're lucky they still got their channels running ads. I see that coming up next. I do. I see that coming up next. Because DoorDash will flag a video all by itself quickly. You don't even know. You say, I've been flagging it and it's still up. It's like, because it could take a while. They're going to need more than one unless it's dead on what you said. And like, there's a lot of people that fuck with people and harass people on this website, YouTube. They harass each other back and forth. I've been getting harassed. I've harassed people in the past. Oh my God. Back in the day, you could get away with all kinds of shit, but not today. I think the problem today is it's a little automated, but I think eventually these guys that are harassing and making fun of other people in a very bad way, it's going to catch up to them. They don't know it. They won't believe it. They're not going to until it happens to them or somebody they're close to and say, well, you did this wrong. It's like funny because you've been agreeing with everything I've been doing. You've been laughing at it. You subscribed to me, and now we're in a clique. Your friend gets deactivated, and you're like, well, you did it wrong. It's like, well, what do you mean I did it wrong? Why didn't you tell me a year ago when I was fucking up? Because you're an idiot. That's what you're going to get. That's going to be your feedback from your friends on YouTube when you get deactivated for doing stupid shit. That which they loved and laughed at and clapped for the whole fucking time. And that's what we're looking at here. Everybody's pussyfooting it around that's running ads. They're saying, no, Dashing Trader, he's awesome. I love him. He's great. He's blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, he got deactivated too. Wait till he loses his AdSense. Wait till that happens. See how great he is then. See what kind of a stature he has at that point. Well, for starters, he won't be on YouTube. They'll move that shit over to a different platform and he can get paid on. That man ain't going to talk unless he's getting the money. Now, Megan, I think, is going to talk. We'll see how long that one lasts. If she turns her foot and says, I'm not only mad at DoorDash, but now I'm mad at YouTube. I don't think she understands that these are all billionaires. They're working together. How do you think that this fucking chain reaction happened? On accident? Hell no. YouTube is doing anything Tony wants them to do, and vice versa. They help each other out. They're trying to keep their platform straight, and they're making their money. They ain't worried about our money. They're worried about their money. Why do you think everybody's pissed off about DoorDash and YouTube? Look, you got to get, 4,000 hours on your channel or something like that now? God, things have changed. I could go down and run the list about how you become a YouTube partner, but it's changed so many times. I'd be wrong every time. I was right when I said it, but now I'm wrong because they've changed it. It used to be 1,000 subscribers, then it was 10,000 subscribers, then it was 50,000 views, it was 10,000 views. And all this other shit, it was like ridiculous. And if you had one terms of service on YouTube, well, just one pink slip, you couldn't run that. They'd pull the ads on all the videos. Now I don't think it's like that at all. Oh my God, it's amazing. This just keeps on changing. So what I'm getting at is that if you're going to bitch and complain publicly about DoorDash or YouTube, think about this. You are a independent contractor on YouTube and DoorDash. And the first thing out of everybody's mouth is always the same. They can't do that. You didn't do anything wrong. It's like, not only can they do that, but they did do that. It's in the contract that everybody didn't read because it's too damn long. But I figured common sense would play some part of this and say if you talk negatively, because even the old job that I had, it said right there in the handbook, you can say what you want on social media, but you can't talk about the company in a negative way while you're employed here. I'm like, that's fair. That's fair. I get that. I can understand that. I can say anything I want to my family, but if I get on the internet and say it, that could potentially screw up their customer base because they got a disgruntled employee. Nobody wants, even if he's wrong or right, still a disgruntled employee. I don't want a product from that company because that employee's got a very bad attitude and God only knows what he's doing to the product, whatever they're making. God only knows what that place is like. Who'd want to buy anything from them? It's the same thing. You got these people joking and stuff about what they're doing to the food. It's like, guys, I know that that's funny in the middle of the night when you're having a blast and you're smoking your bongs, but it ain't funny to the customer, man. It's not. And again, the only time it's your customer is if you accept the order. And if you disagree with the order before you accept it, that's on you, not the customer. There's too many customers to complain about low, no tip. Yes, I wish DoorDash would fix that. But what do you want them to do? You want Tony to bring the pay back? You guys already said it yourself. They ain't making no profit. I'm sure they're trying to find every which way that they can. Do we charge the customer more, or do we give the Dasher less, or do we give the Dasher more and make the service worse for the customer? There's no winning. You can't win. You got two parties here. If I complain about food not delivered or cold, I want my money back or I want some damn resolution. Now, the Dasher's going to get in trouble too, so everybody's fucked. Doesn't make any sense to me why everybody's all over all these companies. It's like, what are they supposed to do, mate? How are you going to make everybody happy in this situation? What is it that you're going to do? What is the golden plan? You're going to tell DoorDash, base pay should be at least $5. It's like, well, if they got to do $5 and they go minus the hole in their shareholders, that ain't going to matter if you got $5 for that order because it ain't going to last. It's over. Leave now then. Leave the platform now. Don't bitch about it. Don't keep on grinding every day, saying what a pain in the ass is, how much it sucks. If it sucks, leave. I know that sounds coarse, but you're not going to fix it. You're an independent contractor. There's no union here. You can't lobby against this. You have no say. You have nothing. The only one that's got say is the customers. If they all pull it out at the same time, then he's sunk. All the drivers pull out, he gets new drivers. Who cares? Big deal. I didn't even read the contract and I knew this, guys. I didn't even read it and I knew this. That's what kills me. It's like, you don't have to be a lawyer to understand how this works. They have a thing called something about at-will state in Kentucky where any employer can just fire you, doesn't have to have a reason. That's the same thing we're doing with this independent contractors. They don't have to have a reason. Who are you going to sue and why? For what? They deactivated you. What? How? Why? What are you going to sue them for? You're not employed. What are you going to... What, do they call you a bad name and hurt your feelings? You can't sue them for that. Oh, they're dead. That messes with my income. It's like you're an independent contractor. We are not your income. You are your income. You was invited to use this platform, and now it's not working for you because you don't belong here. This isn't you anymore. So go away. We don't owe you anything. There's not even unemployment. What do you want? If you want that kind of protection, go get a W-2 job. Why'd you come to the fucking thing to begin with? Because you wanted to be an independent. Well, apparently everybody forgot what the fuck independent meant. That means you on your own, bro. Torp out.